Welcome back to another episode of The Devil's Mic. This is your host, Johnny Zapata, and today we're here with a couple of guys from new upcoming band, Hurt People, Hurt People. How you guys doing today?
Good, good.
Doing good.
All right, let's go ahead and introduce yourself. You guys probably recognize this guy over here, but just in case anybody, hasn't tuned in for a while, introduce yourself, tell what you do in the band.
My name's Ian Seth, and I sing.
I'm Sterling, and I play drums.
Heck yeah. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's talk about the creation of the band. I've noticed that you have a couple of guys from Graves out of San Antonio in the band. So talk to us about meeting those guys and what drove you to start this project.
Man, so the project has actually been like in production for like a while now, probably since like 2017. But really, the project really just consisted of me, and obviously needed members, to kind of pursue, an actual like band, So I knew Jonah Hernandez for a while, and knew of Brandon Delgado or Weasel through him, and so I just kind of hit them up, and then from there I found him through them. Nice. So it all kind of just fell into place, domino effect after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And for you, I know you came from, I guess, Massachusetts. I was doing a little bit of research and Attraction to Tragedy. So one, what brings you down, or what brought you down to Austin? And two, how'd you link up with Ian?
Well, actually, I started off here in Austin, but I traveled up to Massachusetts to play with Attraction to Tragedy. After that, I've been good friends with Jonah, and he let me know about the project and what was going on, said they needed a drummer, and I was happy to join.
Heck yeah. Going back, I see a lot of performances, and you actually are a pretty good drummer. How long you been drumming for, and like what got you into drumming?
I've been drumming for about 10 years now, half my life, and I've just always loved the energy of the drummers on stage, seeing like Tommy Lee and the big grandiose drum sets that he had.
Right. Yeah.
That's what first really pulled me into being a drummer and picking up the instrument.
Nice. Hopefully soon we'll probably see some, flipping and all that on stage, or what?
Right. I was totally thinking about that. I don't know how that would work though. I don't know. I mean, obviously it needs to go for like the right perfect amount of time, but
Yeah.
I've always thought that was cool. So
Yeah,
I
right.
really want to try to do that maybe.
Hey, sometime down the line, right? All right, let's talk about your latest release, Hurt Me. And, going back and doing some research, I heard a little bit of pre-pro way back in 2018 before you even, released it. Talk to us about the creation of Hurt Me and, the story behind the song itself.
Man, so do you prefer me to grab this? You want me to grab this?
Man,
I don't know.
No, you're good.
I don't want your arms to get tired.
I know, right,
My arms
right.
just getting tired watching. Let me see here. Man, that's just such a long story. So I had gone through a really bad breakup, 2016, like 5 years or so. And you know how like songs come from, breakups and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So obviously a song came from that. It was initially a really like hateful song towards the other person in that breakup, but over time I found as like we were getting closer to like the end of the song and like the wrap up of the music video and everything, I kind of like came to terms that it was more so a lot about myself and just kind of the person I used to be, because in that relationship I would classify it as very abusive, not physically but mentally, and I feel a lot of that came from me, and of course that comes through like past trauma of stuff growing up, but I started going into therapy and just kind of coping with it more. Mm-hmm. So the song was definitely a big help in that. And yeah, it's basically what that kind of is as far as the song and like meaning behind it goes. Yeah. Man, as far as the production, it's been in production for a long time. I think I started that song early 2017, like May. And literally, I think it took maybe like a week before the actual music video came out to wrap up the song. Like there was like work going into it all the way up until like maybe the week before. Damn. So it was definitely nuts. Right. I keep forgetting to like talking to this. Like I let it drift away. But yeah, I don't know. So like I don't know. It's a very long process with that song just because it took me forever to find members. That was honestly like the biggest thing that was holding me back. So yeah.
I noticed that, and I also want to get into, you're predominantly known as a drummer,
right.
And what got you into actually singing and, pursuing this project as like a vocal project or, being a vocalist in the band?
Yeah, Very correct. I've been a drummer just about my whole life. It's what I've been doing in the scene since I came in about like 14 years old. So yeah, that's all I was doing, and I loved every second of it. I still do it. I do have my band Minds Machines that I do play drums for, currently still as well. But I never thought of myself as a singer whatsoever. So it wasn't like I knew it from as I was young kind of thing, like drums were, but it probably sparked a lot. I want to say maybe like 2015. It was like the year like I was like really like heavily like singing a lot. So I just needed to obviously find an outlet for that. And I have a particular side of myself that enjoys the more darker realm of like music. So, and that's not what my current band is like, fully. So I just needed a separate kind of project to kind of, like I said, put an outlet through that kind of style and the fact that I just wanted to sing. So yeah, I would say around 2015, and I didn't really do any lessons or anything like that. I just been listening to music so long, performing music, and I do backup vocals in the other project. So I don't know, it just kind of fell naturally. But yeah.
Yeah. It seems natural, and it looks like you can really grasp the attention of the crowd just by stage presence and things like that. I've seen on Instagram where y'all performed that emo night and that Underworld song, and just seeing you perform, and not only just in that, but in the music video, which we'll talk about in a minute. But just seeing your antics and how you perform, it really grasps people's attention. Another thing I wanted to ask, as far as like being a singer and like where you plan to go with this band. No, you get where you plan to go with this band. What should people expect as far as like the music goes? For this upcoming EP or album you're planning on releasing.
Yeah, so as far as where it's going at the very moment, I actually really did kind of want to just see how that first single did. So like for Hurt Me, when we released it, I didn't really put any promotion or anything on it because I wanted to see like genuinely like where it would go. I felt like it was the only opportunity to see where something that no one heard. I need to turn this off or something. But whatchamacallit? Like you were mentioning earlier, the drums, like no one had really seen me debut myself as a singer. So I just kind of really wanted to see how that would do by itself, and kind of decide where the next step would be after that. So I thought, personally the song was perceived really well for it being kind of completely brand new from someone who doesn't typically sing, So yeah, from there, I actually really do want to release a second single here soon. That's just going to be our ongoing joke, I guess, for this one. Right. But whatchamacallit, yeah, I just wanted to see how that first single would go, and then from there, kind of decide where the second one would go. I'm hoping, like, pretty soon, like in the next couple months, I really want to drop, like, a second single with everyone, and yeah, just kind of, I know, just try to keep it rolling, really, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And what should people expect, coming in as far as the next song?
Hold on. Folks, let me disconnect my Spotify that I don't pay for, by the way.
Hey, free Spotify. Let us get that sign in. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's talk about seeing pictures, on Instagram when you first, started the project. I didn't know if this was part of like a music video you were doing, but I saw, the one when you were in the bathtub, you're gnawing on the limb or whatever that was. Is that going to be, a music video, or was this kind of like a promotion thing for the band?
Oh man, there's a whole story that goes behind this whole situation. So, I shot what was originally going to be what you saw, the little teasers on Instagram. That was going to be the initial video for Hurt Me. And I'm not going to put a name out there, but I'm sure you saw the caption, so you know the name, but feel free to mention it if you want to. But I ended up having a fallout with him that just basically ended up in me not using his material. And honestly, it wasn't even so much the fallout. It was actually a kind of a change in entire direction. I actually just wanted to go with a whole different director for the video after all, and someone who just kind of met my vision, the same way I did, and kind of just saw what I was trying to go for. So that's basically what happened with that. And yeah, that's really it. Just a change in directors and whatnot.
Yeah. All right, and let's go ahead and talk about the music video since we're just on that subject. The current music video. Talk to us about the production of the music video and what you were trying to portray, for the song itself.
Yeah, yeah. So the as far as what I was trying to portray, I don't know. So my favorite performer ever, just musician in general, is Corey LaQuay. He's the original drummer for my favorite band, A Skylit Drive, and man, that dude just goes wild live. Like it just the first time I saw them live, it was like the first time I saw them was on their live DVD, and the second I saw it, fell in love with that drummer. He's always what I've tried to kind of imitate live when I play drums. And so but I also love Chris Motionless from Motionless and White. I think he's a phenomenal performer as well. So I think that's just kind of a combo of my, interests and inspirations kind of just mixed into how I perform personally as a vocalist. Because honestly, I didn't know how to prepare for it because I've just never done it really, seeing in a music video like fully be the front man.
Right.
So I don't know, it just kind of happened on set. I didn't really there's certain parts of like the video like in my performance, like physically, like little things I do that I had already kind of made up my mind, okay, that's what I'm going to do for this part, that part, etc. But as a general idea, it's all pretty just spot on, kind of just happened there,
Right.
kind of thing. So
I feel that.
yeah.
Gotcha. And there's no smoking and hurt people, right? No cigarettes or smoke during the music video?
I don't know if you smoke cigarettes, do you?
Oh, right. I don't smoke cigarettes, no.
No? Okay. I don't smoke cigarettes now.
Yeah.
So, that was a substance that I won't name that's marijuana. And I'm going to grab it. Hold on.
Grab it, yeah.
Because I actually want people to see what this is. Because everyone's kind of been getting
What you
this
got?
really-
Clove? Oh, the
it's
one
just-
hitters.
It's just a little one hitter that I smoke out of in the video. And yeah, that's all it is. Everyone thinks it's a cigarette. Obviously, I didn't think about that.
Right.
But I should have really taped it over or something.
Nah, that's cool.
The little thing. But
It's
yeah.
believable, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
believable. But yeah, no, ain't nothing wrong with that,
I
man.
had so much backlash about that from people here and there, and then
Backlash how?
well, and then Chris and Ryan from Austin, Texas Metal Podcast, they like they didn't debut the song, but they played it like a week after it came out on one of their podcasts. And Crow's a really good friend of mine, so he made a big deal about it. It was just like screenshotting me like with the cigarette and whatnot. But I don't know. Other than that, I've heard people like, I didn't know you smoke cigarettes, but I really don't. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life.
No, I don't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
I used to, and the smoking's bad for you guys.
Yes.
Well, cigarettes I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The other stuff, hey, it's natural. But, moving forward, as far as like, you say you're looking to possibly drop a song within the next couple months, what about like, is there going to be a full length, or how many songs are you looking to actually put on like an EP? And when do you look, like realistically, when are you looking to drop that?
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of albums, just like full length albums. I've always loved albums, but that's just not like the cool thing to do anymore. Everyone's either doing the short EPs or just the singles, really. Which is whatever's working right now for the industry. That's awesome, but I don't know. I've always loved the idea of albums. A lot of great albums came out when I was like super, super into listening to like finding new music any chance I could, which led me to a lot of my favorite bands that I still listen to. I listen to the same music the last 10 years, like just that's all. But whatchamacallit? I don't know. I think we're gonna try to do the single thing for a little bit, but I actually really do eventually want to release a full EP. Just trying to keep everyone's schedules in mind because he runs a store, I believe, or like manages a store, and then of course the other two guys, Jonah and Brandon, they have From Graves. So I'm just trying to be accommodating of everyone's personal life and their other businesses and careers. So I can't say, but hopefully maybe an EP, something like that. I think that's probably what I would go for.
Yeah, for sure. Now, since you're looking to, possibly stick to the single route for now, what message does Hurt People portray, or what message do you want people to get from the band?
I'll say that when I started this band, I did it very selfishly in the sense of I just wanted to put out what I wanted to put out. I feel like I had been working with people who didn't really see me eye to eye musically or lyrically all the time. That I was just really frustrated with that. Around the time I was wanting to launch the project, so I just kind of wrote what I wanted to write, and kind of just as far as lyrics, same thing. And I always try to make lyrics as personal as I can, but also I'm like I don't know. I was always into English, like in high school and stuff, so I like poetics of it all. Yeah. So but whatchamacallit, I don't know. It just now, I don't really have a message. It's really just been kind of what I've been wanting to do as far as that. Maybe like I don't know. I just feel like with like gothy sceney bands, like we're all about individuality, but but I don't know. Maybe that. I mean, it's nothing in particular. I'm trying to like push. I just really trying to do what I love at this point. Because you know time and life it just flowing by.
Dude, it flies by. And it's good to, kind of take that route and do what you want. I mean, that could be something that people could take away is to, you might be doing something right now that you're not really 100% in, but if you find that one thing that you love, try and go for it and, make the best that you can. But yeah, let's get off track a little bit. I want to talk about this store. You mentioned that you have a store, or talk to us a little bit about the store.
Two stores, actually. So I manage the Glass Coffin Vampire Parlor here in Austin. It's a vampire-themed oddities shop downtown, and I own my own oddity shop as well called Grotesque Anomaly, and we're just more like all black everything, no color at all.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, the Glass Coffin. It's been. I'm drawing a blank right now.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, we should go check it out one of these days. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely check it out.
Come by. But yeah, I mean, that's really all we got for today. We appreciate you guys for coming on. And anything that any shout outs you want to give, anything you want to, tell your fans before we get out of here?
Just check out the Glass Coffin and Grotesque Anomaly online, and I'll greatly appreciate it.
Nice.
And then check out Hurt Me if you haven't. It's on all of our platforms. Instagram is probably what we use more, so it's Hurt People Band. And yeah, hopefully we'll have some more music coming too.
Gotcha. And yeah, I mean, that's all we got for today. And yeah, be sure to follow them on Instagram, all social media. I believe they have a Twitter and all that, but mainly on Instagram. And we'll go ahead and tag their video down in the description below so you can check it out if you haven't already. Yeah, right down there. And yeah, y'all want to tag y'all's personal pages? Or
Yeah, my Instagram is I Hate Ian Seth. And then, sir?
And mine is Grotesque Anomaly, or if you put a decimal in between the two words, you'll get my business profile.
Heck yeah. So go ahead and follow both of them. Shoot. Yeah, right? It's like the same, but it's different. So, but yeah, that's all we got for today's episode. Again, it's your host, Johnny Zapata, and we out.